If you find yourself bracing every time your baby latches, toes curling, shoulders up by your ears, counting down the seconds until they're done, I want you to hear this. Breastfeeding should not hurt like that. Some tenderness early on can be normal, but burning, stabbing pain that makes you cry every feed is not something you just push through. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 common mistakes that make breastfeeding way more painful than it needs to be, and what you can do instead so it stops hurting every time you feed your baby. I'm Amber Ginn, a board-certified lactation consultant and the founder of the Latch link. Our team works with breastfeeding moms every day who have been told it is normal for it to hurt, or you just need to toughen up your nipples. And then they come to us with cracks and bleeding, dreading every feed, and a ton of guilt. You deserve better than that. Every mom and every baby is different. So if you're worried about your pain or your baby's feeding, please reach out to an IBCLC or a specialized lactation professional who can actually help you find the root cause. But these 5 mistakes we'll cover today show up over and over again, and fixing them can make a huge difference. Let's dive in. The first mistake we see breastfeeding moms make all the time is believing that serious pain is just part of breastfeeding. Maybe you've heard, it hurts at first, that's normal. Give it a few weeks, it'll get better. Or worse, if you really cared, you'd push through. The truth is, some mild tenderness in the very beginning can be normal as your body adjusts. But pain that makes you hold your breath, cry, or dread the next feed is a signal, not some test you have to pass. When we ignore that signal, a few things happen. Your nipples get more damaged. Your baby can start to associate the breast with stress and tension, and you start to associate feeding your baby with fear, which is the opposite of what we want. So if that's you, I want you to mentally cross out the phrase, I just have to suck it up, and instead replace it with, pain is information. We can use that information to make changes. Mistake number 2 is focusing only on the nipple instead of on the whole latch. When you're in pain, of course, all you can think about is your poor nipple. But what usually causes that pain is your baby taking just the tip of the nipple instead of a deep mouthful. Your baby being latched on with their head facing you, but their body turned away. Your baby's chin not being close enough, or their neck being too bent, or being in a position that's hard to maintain, so everything slips off over time. At the Latch link, our virtual lactation consulting practice, when we help with pain, we almost always start with positioning and latch. I want you to imagine your baby's whole body turned toward you, belly to belly, not just their head reaching. Their nose is roughly in line with your nipple before they latch. Letting your baby come to you rather than hunching your body down and fighting to deliver your breast to them. When they latch, you see more areola above their top lip than below their bottom lip, with their chin snug into your breast. You should hear swallows, see deep jaw movement, and feel strong pulling, but not sharp pinching pain that doesn't ease after those first few seconds. If making small changes to position and latch decreases the pain, that's a sign you're doing this better. Mistake number 3 is trying to solve everything with gadgets or hacks instead of fixing the root cause. Things like nipple shields, silicone collectors, fancy pillows or support, none of those are bad. They can all have a place in a good feeding plan. But if we slap on a gadget without asking why you're in pain, we often keep the same shallow latch under the shield, miss issues like tongue ties, tightness, or positioning, and trade nipple pain for engorgement, clogged ducts, or supply problems later. So if you're using tools and still in pain, or the pain comes back as soon as you stop using them, that's a sign we need to zoom out. A board-certified lactation consultant can watch a whole feed, look at your baby's mouth and body, and help decide, is this a positioning issue we can fix today? Is this an anatomy problem that needs other providers involved? Or are bringing in tools in this instance actually helpful, or just masking the problem? Using support tools as part of a plan can be great. Using them as a band-aid for months while you suffer is not. Mistake number 4 is waiting until you're completely done to reach out and ask for help. So many moms tell our team, I thought it would just get better if I kept trying. I didn't want to bother anyone. I felt like seeing a lactation consultant meant I failed. And by the time they finally call, they're dreading every feed, maybe dealing with infections or trauma, or already planning to quit even though they still really want to breastfeed. I want you to treat breastfeeding pain the way you treat pain anywhere else on your body. If your foot hurt so badly that you cried every time you stepped on it, you wouldn't say, well, walking is supposed to be hard. I'll give it a few more weeks. You'd get it checked. The earlier we address what's going on, the easier it usually is to turn things around. And if you ultimately decide to change how you feed your baby, you deserve to make that decision from a place of information and support, not out of desperation. And if as I'm talking, you're thinking, okay, this sounds exactly like me, I want you to know you don't have to figure this out alone. Our team at the Latch link provides virtual breastfeeding support that's often covered 100% by your insurance. If you have Aetna, Anthem, Cigna, or Blue Cross Blue Shield, there's a good chance your plan includes lactation visits with one of our board-certified lactation consultants. You can check your coverage and book a visit from from your phone by clicking the first link in the description. All right, let's talk about the fifth mistake, which might be the most important one. Mistake number 5 is blaming yourself and your body instead of seeing the bigger picture. Painful breastfeeding isn't happening because you're weak or dramatic or not mom enough. It's happening because most hospitals and clinics are understaffed. Many providers get very little lactation training. Families are sent home within days with a brand new baby and almost no follow-up. Culturally, moms are expected to do it all, smile and be grateful. If you are in pain, exhausted, and overwhelmed, do not take that as a personal failure. You are the boss of your body and your feeding journey. That means you're allowed to say, I need help with this now. You're allowed to say breastfeeding is important to me and I want to make it less painful. You're also allowed to say my mental health matters and I need a plan that doesn't destroy me. There is no perfect mother who breezes through all of this without any struggle. There is just you doing your best for your baby with the information and support you have. Our job as professionals is not to hand you more guilt, it's to give you options. So if breastfeeding hurts right now, here's a simple plan. Acknowledge that that level of pain you're in is not something you have to just accept. Try small changes to latch and positioning mentioned in mistake number 2. If pain is sharp, ongoing, or causing damage, reach out for early help. Don't wait weeks hoping something magically gets better. Use tools strategically, not as your only plan. If you're using shields or exclusively pumping because of pain, pair that with support from a lactation consultant so you have a plan in addition to the tools. And last, but most importantly, protect your mental health. If breastfeeding pain is pushing you into a really dark space, remember that your well-being matters. If you're ready for someone to actually watch a feed, look at your baby, and help you figure out why it hurts and what to do about it, our team would love to support you. If you have Aetna, Anthem, Cigna, or Blue Cross Blue Shield, you may qualify for virtual lactation care that's covered by your insurance. Click the first link in the description to check your coverage immediately and book a one-on-one virtual visit with one of our board-certified lactation consultants. We can often see you same day. We'll look at what's really going on, talk through your goals, and build a feeding plan that supports both your baby's growth and your mental health. If this video gave you even a little relief to hear that breastfeeding should not feel like torture, hit subscribe and I'll keep posting videos like this every week. You're doing an incredibly hard job in a world that doesn't give you enough support. Trust yourself, trust your baby, and remember, you don't have to do this alone.